Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am VC Pramod with the news at 9. The headlines. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh commends Indian Army for bravely preventing Chinese troops from transgressing into Indian territory at Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon people to take inspiration from Sri Aurobindo to make the dream of developed India a reality. Civil Aviation Ministry directs all airlines to deploy adequate manpower at check-in and baggage drop counters to ensure smooth flow of passengers at airports. Public sector banks recover over 1 lakh crore rupees in written-off loans during the last 5 years. And in football, Argentina to lock horns with Croatia in first semi-final of FIFA World Cup at Qatar tonight. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh today informed the Parliament that no fatalities or serious casualties occurred on the Indian side during the face-off between the Indian and Chinese troops at Tawang sector of Arunachal Pradesh. Making a statement in Lok Sabha on the incident, Mr. Singh said Chinese troops tried to transgress the line of actual control in Yangtze area of Tawang sector and unilaterally changed the status quo on the 9th of this month. He said face-off led to a physical scuffle in which the Indian Army bravely prevented the Chinese troops from transgressing into Indian territory and compelled them to return to their posts.
9 दिसंबर 2022 को पीएलए ट्रुप्स ने तवांग सेक्टर के यांगसे एरिया में लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल पर अतिक्रमण किया। भारतीय सेना ने बहादुरी से उन्हें उनकी पोस्ट पर वापस जाने के लिए मजबूर कर दिया। इस झड़प में दोनों ओर के कुछ सैनिकों को चोटें भी आई हैं। हमारे किसी भी सैनिक की न तो मृत्यु हुई है और न ही कोई गंभीर रूप से घायल। इंडियन मिलिट्री कमांडर्स के टाइमली इंटरवेंशन के कारण पीएलए सोल्जर्स अपनी लोकेशंस पर वापस चले गए और इस एरिया के लोकल कमांडर ने 11 दिसंबर 2022 को अपने चाइनीज काउंटर पार्ट के साथ एक फ्लैग मीटिंग की और इस घटना पर चर्चा की।
The minister informed that the issue has also been taken up with the Chinese side through diplomatic channels. Mr. Singh assured the House that Indian forces are committed to protecting the country's territorial integrity and will continue to thwart any attempt made on it. Not satisfied with the minister's statement, members of Congress and some other opposition parties staged a walkout from the House. The Defence Minister made a similar statement in the Rajya Sabha as well. Opposition members tried to seek clarifications, but Deputy Chairman Harivansh did not allow it, saying it is a sensitive issue and there is no precedent of allowing clarifications on such issues in the House after the minister's statement. Not satisfied, members from the Congress, Trinamool Congress, Rashtriya Janata Dal and Samajwadi Party, Aam Aadmi Party, Left and others staged a walkout. Home Minister Amit Shah has alleged that the Congress raised the issue of India-China face-off to avoid the question of Foreign Contribution Regulation Act FCRA violation by Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, an organization run by the opposition party. Mr. Shah said this while talking to media outside Parliament today.
राजीव गांधी फाउंडेशन को 2005-6 और 6-7 के वित्तीय साल में चीनी दूतावास से 1,35 लाख रुपए का अनुदान प्राप्त हुआ। मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी को पूछना चाहता हूं, ये दोहरा रवैया जनता के सामने नहीं चलता है। मैं इतना स्पष्ट कहना चाहता हूं कि जब तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी की मोदी सरकार चल रही है, 1 इंच जमीन पर भी कोई कब्जा नहीं कर सकता। अपने सेना के जवानों ने 8 देर रात को और 9 की सुबह को जो वीरता दिखाई है, मैं इसकी भूरी प्रशंसा करता हूं।
Meanwhile, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge stressed that there is no relation between India-China border face-off and FCRA license cancellation of Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. Talking to reporters, Mr. Kharge expressed disappointment that clarification was not allowed after the Defence Minister's statement on India-China border face-off in the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha has taken up the Constitution, Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes Order's Second Amendment Bill 2022 for consideration and passing. The bill is intended to amend the SC order to exclude the Gond community as a scheduled caste in Chandoli, Kushinagar, Sant Kabir Nagar and Sant Ravidas Nagar districts of Uttar Pradesh, and also amends the ST order to recognize the community as ST in these 4 districts. Union Tribal Affairs Minister Arjun Munda moved the bill in the House. The discussion remained inconclusive. The minister will reply to the discussion tomorrow. The bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha. Public sector banks have recovered more than 1,03,000 crore rupees in written-off loans during the last 5 financial years. This was stated by Minister of State for Finance Dr. Bhagwat Karad in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha. He informed that borrowers of written-off loans continue to be liable for repayment and the process of recovery of dues from the borrower in written-off loan accounts continues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India has a pivotal role in tackling challenges faced by the world today. Mr. Modi said this while addressing a program commemorating Sri Aurobindo's 150th birth anniversary through video conferencing today. The program was held at the Kamban Kalai Sangam in Puducherry under the aegis of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The Prime Minister said it is the duty of every citizen to take inspiration from Sri Aurobindo and make the dreams of a developed India a reality.
आज अमृतकाल में जब देश एक बार फिर अपने पुनर्निर्माण के लिए आगे बढ़ रहा है तो यही समग्रता हमारे पंच प्राणों में झलकती है। आज हम एक विकसित भारत बनाने के लिए सभी आधुनिक विचारों को, बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को स्वीकार और अंगीकार कर रहे हैं। हम बिना किसी समझौते के, बिना किसी दैन्य भाव के इंडिया फर्स्ट के मंत्र को सामने रखकर काम कर रहे हैं।
Mr. Modi said Sri Aurobindo was a prominent freedom fighter and a philosopher whose ideals have inspired generations. He said India's youth is inspired by the Rashtra Niti of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat.
श्री अरबिंदो ने हमें दिखाया कि जब हम हमारी संस्कृति को जान लेते हैं, जीने लगते हैं, तो हमारी विविधता हमारे जीवन का सहज उत्सव बन जाती है। साथियों, ये आजादी के अमृतकाल के लिए बहुत बड़ी प्रेरणा है। एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत का इससे उत्तम प्रोत्साहन क्या हो सकता है?
On the occasion, Mr. Modi also released a commemorative coin and postal stamp in honor of Sri Aurobindo. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. First G20 Development Working Group (TWG) meeting began in Mumbai today under India's presidency. In an interview to Doordarshan, India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant shared the agenda of DWG meeting.
चुनौतियां बहुत हैं, पर हर चुनौती में एक अवसर होता है। ये पहली बार है भारत के डिप्लोमेटिक हिस्ट्री में कि भारत एक एजेंडा सेट कर रहा है और ये जो एजेंडा है बड़ा इंक्लूसिव है, बड़ा फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग है, बड़ा डिसाइसिव है। भारत की जो अप्रोच है वो है वसुदेव कुटुंबकम, कि हम एक पृथ्वी, हम एक कॉस्मिक वेब से आते हैं और सब लोग मिलकर ये बदलाव लाएं और विकास के लिए जो कि एक इंक्लूसिव हो, रेजिलिएंट हो, सस्टेनेबल हो, उसके लिए हम पूरे प्रयास करेंगे।
In his opening remarks during a side event of the meeting on infusing new life into green development, India's G20 Sherpa said that Mission Life, that is lifestyle for environment, has a lot to do with nudging behavior. He said it is not countries but individuals and collective behavior that will make the difference. Niti Ayog's CEO Parameshwaran Iyer virtually delivered a presentation on Mission Life at the same event. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Iyer said India aims to mobilize 1 billion people to take individual and collective action against climate change through 2022 to 2028. The first G20 Finance and Central Bank Deputies meeting and the first Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting began at Bengaluru in Karnataka today. It marks the beginning of discussions on the finance track agenda under the Indian G20 presidency. Our correspondent says that the brand Karnataka is promoted on the sidelines of the international event.
Karnataka will host 14 G20 meetings. Among them, 11 will be held in Bengaluru, 2 in Hampi, and 1 will be held in Mysuru. Karnataka Tourism Department is the nodal department vested with the responsibility of hosting the G20 delegates who have arrived here from over 35 countries. During the meetings and stay of the delegates in Karnataka, excursions will be organized to the tourist destinations in Golden Chariot, which is South India's only luxury train. They will be entertained with a mix of dances, music, and cultural cultural exhibition native to Karnataka. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
India has strongly condemned the visit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation OIC Secretary General to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and his comments on Jammu and Kashmir. In response to a media query, the External Affairs Ministry reiterated that OIC has no locus standi in matters related to Jammu and Kashmir, which is an integral and inalienable part of India. It said any attempt of interference and meddling in India's internal affairs by OIC and its Secretary General is completely unacceptable. The ministry said OIC has already lost its credibility by taking a blatantly communal, partisan and factually incorrect approach to issues. India expressed hope that OIC Secretary General would refrain from becoming a partner in carrying out the nefarious agenda of Pakistan of promoting cross-border terrorism into India, especially in Jammu and Kashmir. The Civil Aviation Ministry has directed all the airlines to deploy adequate manpower at the check-in and the baggage drop counters to ensure decongestion and smooth flow of passengers at the airports. The ministry has written a letter to all the airlines in this regard. It also suggested placing real-time data on their social media feeds regarding the waiting time at the entry gates of the respective airports. The letter said that it has come to the notice that the airlines check-in counters at certain airports are unmanned or inadequately manned during the early hours leading to congestion. Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat today chaired a meeting of the Special Committee for the Interlinking of Rivers in New Delhi. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Shekhawat said the interlinking of the rivers is very important for enhancing the water and food security of the country. He said this will be helpful in providing water to drought-prone and rain-fed farming areas. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the inaugural function of Pramukh Swami Maharaj Shatabdi Mahotsav tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. at Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was a guide and guru who touched countless lives across India and the world. The Sensex and the Nifty today witnessed gains of around 0.5%. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange climbed 403 points to close at 62,533 points. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also gained 111 points to end at 18,608. In football, the semi-final stage of the FIFA World Cup begins in Qatar tonight. In the first match, Argentina will lock horns with Croatia at Lusail Iconic Stadium at 12:30 a.m. Indian time. Tomorrow, in the second semi-final, France will take on Morocco. The final will be played on Sunday. In cricket, India will take on Bangladesh in the first test of the two-match series tomorrow. The match will begin at Chattogram at 9 a.m. Indian time. The second test match will be played on the 22nd of December in Dhaka. India earlier lost the three-match ODI series against Bangladesh 2-1, winning the last match by 227 runs. In hockey, Indian women's team will face South Africa in the final Pool B match of the FIH Nations Cup at Valencia in Spain tomorrow. The match will begin at 7:45 p.m. Indian time. India has already qualified for the semi-finals as it currently stands at the top of the pool after winning last two matches against Japan and Chile. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh commends Indian Army for bravely preventing Chinese troops from transgressing into Indian territory at Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon people to take inspiration from Sri Aurobindo to make the dream of developed India a reality. Civil Aviation Ministry directs all airlines to deploy adequate manpower at check-in and baggage drop counters to ensure smooth flow of passengers at airports. Public sector banks recover over 1 lakh crore rupees in written-off loans during the last 5 years. In football, Argentina to lock horns with Croatia in first semi-final of FIFA World Cup at Qatar tonight. That's all in the news at 9. Good night.
We remain vigilant whether the sea is calm or in a boom. We are constantly prepared to assist the nation. We take pride in being members of the Indian Navy.
Decide to join the Indian Navy as a career. Unmarried male and unmarried female candidates can apply online for Agniveer May 23 batch. Last date for submission of online application is 17th December 2022. Visit www